and welcome back to another pregnancy update. Today I am officially at 27 weeks. Woo! That's so exciting, you guys. I think it depends on what baby app or website you're going off of, but some apps and websites do consider 27 weeks to be the start of the third trimester. So we're in the home stretch here, but this video, like always, is going to encompass the previous week. So this is going to be everything from the start of 26 weeks all the way up to today when I hit 27 weeks. We are going to be covering the symptoms, what I'm looking forward to, and just how we are prepping for baby. Let's go ahead and get into the weekly baby facts. I think baby is still roughly the same size as we talked about last week, about 2 pounds or just under that or around there. Baby in the third trimester is also going to start plumping up. My app says he will start to be less wrinkly and more of just like putting on weight and fat and helping his body regulate his temperature for when he's born. Also, baby's organs are now almost all developed. In the third trimester, the most development that is happening is in baby's brain. Also, baby this week is supposedly the size of lettuce. I always laugh, like I said last week, when they start shooting out the random vegetables and fruits that babies are the size of. It just cracks me up because some of them I just can't relate to whatsoever. But this week it is the size of lettuce. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into how my week was. Total weight gain, so I don't go back to the doctors until next week, so we won't know how much more weight I've gained. But I started this pregnancy out at 132, and when I went to the doctors a couple weeks ago, I was weighing in at 142. So roughly 10 pounds of weight gain so far. I'm sure I've put on a couple more pounds since then, but we will know for sure next week. So either next week's update or the week after, I will have an update on total weight gain for you guys. Maternity clothes, living in maternity clothes, still wearing maternity bottoms, living in black leggings like I have in previous weeks, still wearing like pre-pregnancy shirts though. A lot of my shirts are oversized or just like a looser fit anyway, so I can get away with them. I did buy some new maternity leggings this week. I know I spoke about that last week, but I did go ahead and purchase the couple pairs on Amazon. I want to say they're like Butterluxe or butter something. I will link them down below. I bought a 2-pack of black leggings. They had a 4-pack, but I decided not to get them because they were almost $40, which is still a good price for 4 pairs of leggings, but I wanted to make sure I liked them before I bought a big pack. So I went with the smaller pack of 2 and they were only $19, so I'd say $10 each for a pair of leggings isn't bad. I will say I do like them. I don't love them as much as the more expensive pair that I bought on Amazon that I've been linking, but they're still comfortable enough to have like extra sets in between washes. So I've been living in those, but I will link all of the details on the maternity clothes that I bought so far. But other than the leggings, I haven't bought anything else. Stretch marks, still no stretch marks. Woohoo! Let's make it to the end of this pregnancy with no stretch marks. That would be great. I'm still religiously applying the cocoa butter. Like I said, I will link those down below like I always do if you are interested in finding a good lotion for pregnancy. I swear by that. I didn't get any stretch marks in my first pregnancy, and this pregnancy is following the same suit, but morning and night I put that on my belly and my breast and it seems to be helping. So yay, let's hopefully it just continues on that track. Sleeping good still, no changes to that, although there was another day like last week where I had to get up in the middle of the night to take TUMS because of the reflux that I'm having. I am smart now. I moved the TUMS bottle to the side of my bed so I don't have to get up in the middle of the night, but there was another night where I had to take TUMS just because the burning sensation and the vomiting feeling is outrageous, and I know that's one of the symptoms of pregnancy, especially at this point. My app says if you can feel your food in your chest, that's because all of your organs are pushed up at this point, so it makes sense of why I'm feeling that. But there was another night where I was kind of woken up in the middle of the night due to that. But other than that, I'm not having to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I'm sleeping through the night until roughly 6 o'clock, so 10 to like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'll take it, especially with a toddler. Good sleep, I will take all I can get. Best moment this week was going up to see my brother-in-law again. We drove up north to spend the day with him and both of my niece and nephew, and it was phenomenal. We did a cousin pool day, and Nathan absolutely loved the water. He was a little bit hesitant at first, but he warmed up real fast and even swam on his own, obviously with me right next to him and his like water life vest, but he loved it, and we're enjoying having family close to us, especially being a military family. We don't always have that luxury, so being stationed somewhere close where we can create those moments and go up and spend time has been phenomenal, and we are going to continue to do that. Rowdy was unfortunately not able to go with us. He did leave on an underway again, but we didn't let that stop us. Like I said, I went and spent time with my brother-in-law and my niece and nephew, so that was the best moment this week. Missing anything? So we are back to missing my husband. Like I said, we are a military family. He is on a submarine, which is constantly in and out. The schedule is inconsistent, so he did leave again, so it's just back to solo parenting and being Nate and I. So we are missing him, especially with it being Father's Day weekend. That was kind of a bummer. This is 2 years in a row now that we have missed celebrating Father's Day with him. That is just our reality. But yeah, we are missing my husband, so back to missing him. Movement, yes, still lots of movement. I do feel like he's really low movement wise now. I will feel like the tickling feeling further down. I haven't felt any sort of hiccups or anything like that. I know that should be coming in the near future, especially in the 3rd trimester. You can start to feel hiccups. None of that yet. He still just does the worm across my stomach and is constantly all over the place. He'll push out and I can feel like a bump, which is either like his head or his butt. I've never been someone who can tell which body part is which. I feel like it's just a blob, but yeah, he's definitely moving a ton and pushing out. So there's that. Anything making me sick or queasy? Like usual, you guys are probably tired of me saying this, but my toddler's dirty diaper still makes me sick. Have to plug my nose, still just sucking it up and dealing with it. The other thing this week that kind of made me sick is we are dealing with a problem in our bathrooms. I don't know if it's a California thing. I've never dealt with this before, but our bathrooms will smell like a sewagey smell no matter how much water I run in the sinks or the tub. So I've been told that it's the P-trap. When the P-trap dries up, it can cause the sewagey smell, but it's disgusting. I like to keep a clean house, so it really grosses me out. So I have put in a maintenance work order to hopefully get that resolved. I did talk to my previous house renters that were in this house before us, and they dealt with the same problem where they had to go in and snake their drains, and it goes away for a bit and comes back. So hopefully this isn't something we're gonna have to deal with forever in this rental. But yeah, the smell of it does kind of gross me out. But other than that, nothing else is making me sick or queasy, although obviously the reflux, that does make me kind of queasy just because it gives me that lump in my throat where I feel like I'm gonna vomit and you kind of swallow and get rid of it. But other than that, nothing else is making me sick or queasy. Gender guess, no guessing here. If you guys have been following along, you know that we are having a healthy and happy boy. He is due September 18th. And like I said, we are in the final home stretch. I can't wait to meet this little guy. We are prepping for baby. I'm gonna go ahead this week and order his crib. He's obviously not gonna be in the crib for a hot minute. He'll be in the Halo bassinet that we saved from my first pregnancy right next to my bed, but he will have his own crib. The boys are gonna share a room, so I'm excited to start putting that together. I'm gonna be ordering his name sign here the next couple weeks too. I wanna order a bookshelf and like a couple other things so I can start getting the boys' room all put together because we haven't really touched that room. The walls are still blank because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet, but I have a pretty good idea of where I want to go moving forward. So yeah, in the next couple weeks I will be starting to work on his nursery, pulling stuff down, prepping for a baby, and I will be taking you guys along on that journey. So if you are interested, stay tuned for probably a vlog of putting the nursery together. Labor signs, no labor signs. Hopefully he holds on until his due date. I have another friend who is expecting and she's due about a month before me, and she was telling me the other day about how she's been having Braxton Hicks like crazy, and I don't really know what that feels like because I didn't deal with that with my first pregnancy. I didn't have any sort of like contractions or anything like that until like the 2 days leading up to giving birth. So hopefully this time around I won't have to deal with Braxton Hicks. I'm not feeling anything, no pressure or like contractions or cramping or anything like that. So hopefully we continue like that and I don't feel anything until close to my due date. But yeah, so there's that, no labor signs. So symptoms this week, I did have some new symptoms, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is back pain. So starting earlier in the week on my left side, I started getting this really sharp pain in the middle of my back on the left side, and it was almost debilitating. Like it stopped me in my tracks. I had to stop and lay down, and it did come and go. So I'm thinking that it's either like a pinched nerve or he's pushing on something on the inside. I only had it for like a 2-day span and then it went away, but it was not fun. And I never dealt with back pain really with Nathan, so hopefully this guy doesn't continue to push on stuff and cause me back pain, but there's that. I've already touched base on the reflux, but that has continued into this week. I know it started like, what, 3 weeks ago, and it's just continuing to ramp up. It comes and goes, and I'm living off of TUMS. Obviously, in pregnancy, you can only take 6 TUMS in a 24-hour period, so I try to like split them up of doing like, if I'm struggling with it in the morning, I'll take 3, and then I'll make sure I save like the other 3 for the evening time so that I'm not having to get up in the middle of the night. But reflux, sciatica pain, or something in relation to that. This just started actually the end of the week, the last 2 days. I got a shooting pain down my right leg. So now instead of the left side back pain, now I'm having the shooting pain down my right side. And it's when I walk and again, stops me in my tracks. I feel like I can't walk or put pressure on that leg. And it's not really so much as in my butt, it's just a shooting pain down the right leg. It only went on for the 2-day span. I haven't had it come back yet. Let's hope, but I have been having that, and like I said, Googling it, I think that it's like sciatic pain, but I'm not exactly sure. I haven't asked a physician, so don't quote me on that. I've also been out of breath. You guys have probably caught that with me talking, or if you've watched any of my vlogs, I am out of breath. Also frazzle-brained. I feel like when I'm talking, I stumble over my words, or I'll lose track mid-sentence, and I did mention that I think in last week's symptoms starting, so just bear with me. I apologize in advance. I'm not always like this, but pregnancy, y'all. And then the last symptom that I had this week was breast and nipple pain, and this really was associated actually when I went swimming. It was super hot outside. It was like 90 outside, but getting into the water, that cools your body temperature, and I am someone who gets cold really easily, and I just sucked it up because my toddler has no sense of the cold, and he wanted to stay in the water constantly, where I like to get in and cool off and then get out and like lie on the tanning chair or like soak up the sun. He doesn't have that chill. So I sucked it up obviously and let him swim a ton, but when I started to get cold, ow, they hurt so bad, and it hurt even after getting out and like for like 24 hours after. So I don't know what that is about, if it's just like everything getting ready to be able to breastfeed or things developing or growing or what, but that was not a comfortable sensation. But yeah, that wraps up all of the symptoms that I had this week. Belly button in or out? Belly button is still in. Like the last couple weeks, I have mentioned that my belly is stretching, and so it is starting to kind of go out, but we're not out completely yet. I don't feel like I've had any more major growth since the last couple weeks. I feel like I'm the same size. I don't know, you guys tell me when I do my bump shot, but I feel like we haven't had any major growth again, or at least I don't have the appetite that went along with the last major growth we had. So belly button is still in for the time being. Wedding rings on or off? Wedding rings are still on. Like I always mention, I never dealt with swelling in my first pregnancy. My fingers stayed the same size. No swelling in my ankles or feet or anything like that. I wore my wedding rings all the way through labor and delivery. So the plan is to do that again unless something happens and I swell up. They will be on my fingers for the near future. Happy or moody most of the time? Still happy most of the time. We only had that 1 week where I was off and feeling moody, but we are back to being happy and just steady when it comes to emotions, which I don't mind. I won't argue about that. I like feeling level-headed and not like I'm spiraling or crazy. So yeah, we are happy this week. What am I looking forward to? So I obviously go back to the doctors next week, so that is always something that I look forward to. I'm excited to touch base with my doctor again, see what his heart rate is at and where I'm measuring in at. I also want to talk to my doctor about possibly looking into a doula for labor and delivery, because I know as a military family, TRICARE recently, I say recently, in like the last year or two, has started covering doulas for labor and delivery. And if you've been following along, you know I mentioned that there's a high probability that my husband won't be here for the birth of baby number 2. So I want to look into that as an option, just to have a support person for birth and just like delivery and things like that. I also am excited to talk to my doctor about how my glucose test went. I did go ahead and look on my portal online, and it looks like I did pass my glucose test, so yay. Although I was on the low end, so I passed it, but it was like kind of on the brink of being too low, which is crazy to me because I feel like I consume so much sugar, but apparently my body just processes it really well. So I'm excited to talk about the results with her. And also, when I did that glucose test, they went ahead and did the full blood panel again, since I did have a low iron in previous weeks and low vitamin C and things like that, and they wanted to see if it had gone up since putting me on the iron supplement. And I did look at those as well, and it looks like I do still have a pretty severe iron deficiency. Not severe, but like severe. So I'm interested to see what her recommendations are going to be for that going forward. So yeah, that is what I am looking forward to. So stay tuned for updates on all of that. All right, you guys, here is the 27-week bump. Sorry about the mirror. I have a toddler and I do need to clean it. It's got some handprints on it, but I feel like I still am pretty small. Like, if you weren't sure if I was pregnant, you wouldn't ask me, because the bump is not like crazy out there unless I wear something super tight that you can tell is maternity. But regular Under Armour top today, my Black Motherhood maternity leggings. There's the bump. And then the belly, we're still super uber round. Straight on for you guys. The side. And the other side. Here he is. Do you guys think he's lower? I feel like he's low. I know with boys they say you carry lower, so that seems pretty true. I know I carried like this with Nate too, so. But yeah, there's 27 weeks, you guys. How much bigger do you think we're gonna get by the end of this pregnancy? Alright, you guys, well, that is going to wrap up my 26-week update. Hopefully you guys are enjoying me bringing you along on this journey of my second pregnancy. Stay tuned, I have lots of fun content coming. Obviously, I'm going to continue to do my pregnancy updates weekly, but I'm also going to be vlogging me putting together the nursery and prepping for baby and the hospital bag and all of that. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see all of that. If you're enjoying my videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me those comments. I love hearing from you guys and seeing where you guys are in your pregnancy, or just anything kind you guys want to say to me. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in next Friday's video. Bye!